everyone. I'm so excited to have Dr. Samantha Slotnick with me here today, and she is the author of But Mommy, I Can See. Dr. Slotnick, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Absolutely. Hi there. Um, so, but Mommy I Can See is a children's book, and I do have a copy here just to get an idea. This is a book that was designed to engage children of all ages. So it's written for children, accessible to children, but really this is a book that helps people of all ages understand that the visual process is much more than just seeing something clearly. But to see something well and to feel comfortable while you're using your vision is something that can actually be facilitated. And that's the work that I do. I'm a behavioral optometrist, and I wrote this book to try to communicate to the world out there that the ability to see versus seeing well is not exactly the same. And sometimes I'm writing prescriptions for children that have difficulty seeing comfortably. And they realize, but mommy, I can see. I can take off my glasses and I can still see. And that's true. But their ability to learn and sustain attention and to focus well in class and to comprehend what they're reading, all of that is less well facilitated when their glasses are not on. So this book is to help the families, to help the child appreciate that the glasses are doing more than just making things clear. And that by learning that there are things that can go better, as well as risks in not wearing the glasses in some cases, but that there are risks that we're trying to prevent a problem by providing these kinds of prescriptions, that these are children who actually can learn to excel and feel more engaged in a learning environment. So this book is really about this young little girl's journey. This is Sylvia's journey. As she's received glasses, she's excited about them, and then she starts going through all the same familiar things that happen with the children who come to our practice, where when they first wear lenses that are just helping them learn better, more comfortably, they realize at first it feels good, but then they realize, I could see without them, and they start to question it. I love these kids. These are the children who come back and have great conversations with me. And that's why I was inspired to really write this story.
Wow, this is so interesting. And I've never thought about how many different aspects of life being able to see clearly could affect. What was your inspiration for writing this book, Dr. Slotnick?
Yes, the children that I work with, they are wonderful little people that have so much potential within them. And the thing that happens in the course of these interactions in my practice is that I get to see sometimes other signs of real intelligence and thinking, deep thinking and awareness. And when that seems like a mismatch to how well they're performing in the classroom, I'm able to sometimes provide support to help these children actually start experiencing learning at their real potential, performing more well in school. And the children who really impress upon me that there is more there are the ones who actually speak up for themselves, who are brave enough to say, but doctor, I don't understand. Why do I need to wear these glasses? I can see without them. I don't really need them. And so I try to have these conversations with children openly about, no, you're right. You are not dependent on the lenses. You don't need them, but they benefit you. You don't need the sneakers you are wearing. But wouldn't you feel more comfortable running in track or running outside in the playground if you had those sneakers on? I mean, you could wear regular dress shoes, but you probably won't have as much traction. You won't run as quickly. You may not feel as comfortable. You could go barefoot. You might hurt yourself. There are other options. You don't need the sneakers you have, but they benefit you. And so you choose them. Well, lenses are like sneakers for the brain. So in this way, some of the children that we start to make these connections with, they benefit so much from understanding, okay, there's something different that happens here. And sometimes I just demonstrate it for them so that they get to appreciate it for themselves. Let's read a passage together. read a couple of sentences without the glasses, and then we put the lenses on and we hear that the passage is read with greater fluency. In fact, one of the things that I often hear, it's not just obvious stuff like they skip words when they don't wear the glasses or they skip a line, but the phrasing is more sort of just automatic. They're picking up phrases because their vision is a little more relaxed and they use more of their peripheral vision to read ahead. So they don't even realize that they're acknowledging the grammatical markings like commas and colons and question marks and changing their inflection as they read because they just see it earlier in the process. And then the other thing that happens is with lower tension, their vocal tension actually drops. Their voice becomes less strident and softer, warmer. There's a change in their airway. It's extraordinary what can happen when a child actually takes the lenses and utilizes them to their benefit. And so we're just trying to help empower these children who don't necessarily know that there are options to be able to see more comfortably, not more clearly, but actually more widely, more broadly, more flexibly, to be able to shift their eyes while they keep in focus, to be able to coordinate the eyes to keep things single and clear at the same time. All of these things are going on in the background, and then the child is supposed to be able to not only read like a mechanical process of decoding the words, they're expected to comprehend and to make inferences and to start thinking ahead as what may come next. That process actually takes energy. So taking away some of the onus on the visual skills and softening that up so that a child has an easier time accessing the information through the reading. That's our goals here. So those are the goals that we're trying to strive towards. And so I wrote this book really to help the children out there be able to access this kind of work. And I'm not alone in this kind of work. It is something that we do here. My office is in Scarsdale, New York, but there are families all over, not only the US, who are able to access behavioral optometrists, but even across the globe, there are organizations, and I've listed them at the back of the book so that people all over the planet are able to access other organizations with doctors who take a learning-related view on vision care. And so that's part of the reason that this is out there, is to try to help these doctors, providers, and the patients who need to access them learn that they are out in the same community. We are out there. There are not as many of us as the typical primary care provider, but we are out there.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad you wrote this book. It sounds like it could be so helpful and very informative. I love the analogy that you give about the sneakers. I think that's a great way to help kids understand this. Dr. Slotnick, is there anything else that you can tell us about the book or the message behind the book or about yourself?
I think I would just want to say that I think that the book itself, the pictures are so rich and engaging. And I partnered with an illustrator who has a background in writing comic books as well. And he is able to depict so much that I've actually been using this book as a tool for nonverbal children to read pictures. I mean, the information jumps off the pages in the story, and the children love it, they connect with it, but adults are reading it and parents are reading it and saying, you know, I didn't expect to learn so much, but I'm really learning in this book. And it's catching people by surprise because there is a wonderful, relatable story with this engaging, spunky young lady who is probably around 9 or 10 years old. And she is pushing back in all the ways that smart children do. And I just love the idea of so many more of them being out there and getting the support they need so that they can shine. And so this is why the book is out there. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you delight in it as much as the children that I'm seeing play with the book. They read it at all ages in this practice. And I hope that it helps many kids get the care they need.
I love that. For anyone who's interested in picking up a copy of this book, again, it's Dr. Samantha Slotnick, and the title of the book is But Mommy, I Can See. And you can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Apple Books, just to name a few. Thank you so much, Dr. Slotnick.
Thank you. Thank you, Heather. It was nice to speak with you.